Hello and welcome to today's video about relating fractional units to the whole. First, let's talk about some vocabulary words and terms that you will need to know and understand for today's lesson. Unit fraction, a fraction whose numerator is 1. Unit percent, 1%. First, let's talk about using unit fractions to find the whole. Let's consider this question. If 12 counters are 1/5 of a set, how many counters are in the set? Here is a set of 12 counters. If 1/5 is worth 12, we need to figure out how much 4 more fifths, here, 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 and here, are going to be worth altogether to find out what 5/5 of the set is, or the whole. As you can see, I have added 4 more sets of 12, making my grand total 5 sets of 12. I am going to count all of these dots quickly to figure out what 5/5 is of this set. I know that 12 plus 12 is 24. And if I add 12 plus 12 again, I'm going to get 24 a second time. And then I'm going to leave this last 12 on its own and just add that in a minute. When I add 24 plus 24, I get 48. And I'm going to now add that last 12 to the 48, and I'm going to come up with 60. So you can see that if 1/5 of a set is equal to 12 counters, the entire set is worth 60 counters altogether. Now let's look at one more example of how to use the unit fraction to find the whole. Alex collects sports cards. 70 of his cards feature basketball players. These 70 cards are 2/3 of Alex's collection. How many sports cards does Alex have? In order to solve this problem, you can see that I have added a picture of a fraction stick that has been divided into thirds. Here is what the problem is telling us so far. Of this entire set of cards, which is all of this right here, we know that 2/3 of it is worth 70 cards. We need to figure out what this final third is worth so we can figure out what the entire piece is worth altogether. The first thing I have to figure out is what 1/3 of the entire collection equals. I know that 2 sections equal 70, so in order to figure out what 1/3 is, I am going to divide 70 in half. Since I know that with fractions, all of the pieces are worth the same amount. So if these 2 pieces are worth 70 altogether, each one of these pieces individually is worth 35. And if these 2 pieces, here and here, are worth 35, then that means that this piece over here is also worth 35. Now I know what all of these pieces are worth, and I can figure out what the entire collection is worth. 35 plus 35 plus 35 is equal to 105. So I know that Alex has a total of 105 cards. Finally, let's talk about using unit percents to find the whole. The sale price of an iPod is $120. It is on sale for 60% of its list price. What is the list price? The first thing that we need to do in this problem is figure out what 1% of the total price would be worth. In order to do that, we are going to divide 120 by 60. As you can see, 60 goes into 120 2 times evenly with no remainder. In order to begin solving this problem, we divided the sale price by the percentage that the sale price is of the total value. We did this because if you know the value of a given percent, you can find the value of the unit percent by dividing. In this case, our division told us that 2 was the unit percent. 2 is equal to 1% of the total cost. If 2 is equal to 1% of the entire cost, then all I have to do now is multiply 2 by 100 in order to get the total original cost of the iPod. This means that the total cost of the original iPod is $200. Here are your practice problems of the day. Alicia baked cookies. She gave away 24 cookies, which was 3/5 of the total she baked. How many cookies did Alicia bake? If it helps you, you should draw a fraction stick, like this. Remember that if you know that 3/5 was worth 24, you should be able to easily figure out how much each fifth is worth as far as these cookies go. A tea kettle is on sale for 80% of its list price. The sale price is $40. What is the list price? In this problem, the first thing you should do is figure out what the unit percent is, or what 1% of the total cost is. In order to do this, you need to divide 40 by 80. Then you multiply that answer by 100, and that will give you the original list price for the tea kettle. Good luck!